I'm not sure if I would have survived if I hadn't received this treatment. There's no other way to say it. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will discuss a story about a woman who spent $2 million on her own gene therapy in order to treat her cancer, and now she is completely free of the disease. This is an incredible story that gives us hope for the future of medicine. So let's dive in. Judy was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia when she was just 46 years old. She had always been a healthy person, and the diagnosis came as a shock. She underwent several rounds of chemotherapy, but the cancer kept coming back. Her only hope was a new gene therapy that was still in clinical trials. The therapy worked by taking out her stem cells and replacing them with healthy ones. But there was a problem. The treatment was very expensive and her insurance company would not pay for it. Judy was desperate. She didn't want to give up, so she did something crazy. She took out a second mortgage on her house and spent $2 million of her own money to pay for the treatment. Her friends and family were shocked when they heard what she was doing. They thought that she was making a huge mistake, but Judy was determined to do whatever it took to save her own life. After the treatment, Judy's cancer went into remission, and she was able to enjoy her life for a few years. Unfortunately, the cancer came back again. Judy was devastated, but she was not ready to give up. She knew that she had done everything possible to fight the disease, and she refused to let it defeat her. As the saying goes, the first time you do it is the hardest. If Judy had not taken that crazy step of spending $2 million of her own money on the treatment, she might not have been alive today. Her story is an example of how sometimes you have to take risks in life in order to succeed. It's also a reminder that we should never give up in the face of adversity. The cost of healthcare in the United States is a major problem. Many people are unable to get the treatment they need because they cannot afford it. This is a tragic situation, but there are people like Judy who are willing to do whatever it takes to get the treatment they need. Judy's story is an example of how the high cost of healthcare can be a major burden on individuals. She was forced to take out a second mortgage on her house in order to pay for the treatment. This is a huge financial burden, and it's one that many people could not afford. However, Judy was able to do it, and she was able to successfully fight off her cancer. Her story is an example of the resilience of the human spirit. She refused to give up in the face of adversity, and she was able to come out on top. Cancer is a terrible disease that affects millions of people each year. It can be very difficult to diagnose and treat. There are many different types of cancer, and each type requires a different approach. Sometimes surgery is the best option, while in other cases chemotherapy or radiation therapy is more appropriate. In recent years, there has been a lot of progress in the treatment of cancer. New drugs and therapies are being developed all the time that offer hope to those who have been diagnosed with this disease. One of the most promising new treatments is gene therapy. Gene therapy is a type of treatment that is used to alter the genes of a person in order to treat or cure a disease. In the case of cancer, gene therapy can be used to target the cancer cells and destroy them while leaving the healthy cells unharmed. This type of treatment is still in its early stages of development, but it shows great promise for the future of cancer treatment. Judy was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, which is a type of blood and bone marrow cancer. She had tried traditional treatments, such as chemotherapy, but nothing seemed to work. That's when she learned about a new gene therapy clinical trial that was taking place at a hospital. This therapy involved removing her stem cells and then replacing them with healthy stem cells from a donor. The problem was that the treatment was extremely expensive and her insurance company wouldn't cover it. However, she was desperate to try anything that could help her survive longer. So she decided to take a loan against her house in order to pay for the treatment. The treatment was a success, and she went into remission for a while. Although it only lasted for a few years, She was grateful for the extra time she had spent with her loved ones. There are many people who are not as fortunate as Judy, and they end up dying from their cancer because they cannot afford treatment. This is why it's so important to raise awareness about the high cost of healthcare in the United States. It's also important to find ways to make treatments more affordable for those who need them. There are many people who cannot afford the medications they need to stay alive. This is a tragic situation, and it's one that needs to be addressed. We need to find a way to make sure that everyone has access to the medical care they need, regardless of their financial status. While Judy's story had a happy ending, this is not always the case with cancer patients. Many people lose their lives to the disease each year because they cannot afford treatment. This is a tragedy, and it's something that needs to change. We need to find a way to make sure that everyone has access to the medical care they need, regardless of their financial status. Cancer is a disease that affects people of all ages. It can be very difficult to diagnose and treat, and it often requires a multidisciplinary approach. Treatment options include surgery, chemotherapy, radiation therapy, immunotherapy, and palliative care. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to cancer treatment, and the best option for each patient will vary depending on the type and stage of the cancer, as well as the patient's overall health. In recent years, there has been a lot of progress in the treatment of cancer. New drugs and therapies are being developed all the time that offer hope to those who have been diagnosed with this disease. One of the most promising new treatments is gene therapy. Gene therapy is a type of treatment that is used to alter the genes of a person in order to treat or cure a disease. In the case of cancer, gene therapy can be used to target the cancer cells and destroy them while leaving the healthy cells unharmed. This type of treatment is still in its early stages of development, but it shows great promise for the future of cancer treatment. Judy was lucky enough to find a clinical trial for a new gene therapy that was being developed by a team of doctors at a hospital. The therapy worked by taking out her stem cells and then replacing them with healthy stem cells from a donor. This process is known as a stem cell transplant. It is a procedure that is commonly used to treat blood cancers such as leukemia. In order to receive the treatment, Judy had to take out a second mortgage on her house in order to pay for the cost of the therapy. The total cost of the treatment was $2 million. This included the cost of the stem cell transplant, as well as the cost of any necessary medications or treatments. Despite the financial burden, Judy was hopeful that the treatment would work. She had exhausted all other treatment options and was desperate to try something new. When the treatment was first started, Judy experienced some side effects that are common with this type of therapy. These included nausea, vomiting, and fatigue. But as time went on, these side effects disappeared and she began to feel better. A few months after the treatment, Judy's cancer went into remission. She was overjoyed and grateful to have this second chance at life. However, unfortunately, the remission did not last forever. About 2 years after the stem cell transplant, Judy's cancer returned. She was devastated, but she was determined to fight it again. Judy is a remarkable woman who has shown incredible strength and determination in her battle against cancer. She is an inspiration to all of us who know her, and a reminder that no matter how tough things get, we should never give up. Hope. Thank you for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this video and that you learned something new. If you have a story that you would like to share with us, please contact us. We would love to hear from you. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you back for more videos. Until next time, stay healthy and happy.